welcome to the Inside Source Executive Interview Series. My name is Dawn Tiura. I'm CEO of Sourcing Industry Group, also known as SIG, and with me today is Michael Barrett, and Michael is the co-founder of Unosquare, a company that's based out of Mexico. So thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Dawn. It's obviously great to see you again, and it's really awesome to be part of this program.
Well, good. So you live in Oregon.
Yes.
And you open an office in Mexico. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I partnered up with my co-founder, Mario De Veche. He's a Mexican citizen, lives in Guadalajara. I stayed in Portland, Oregon, and I did all the sales, marketing, and customer service. And he did all the engineering management and hiring in Mexico. And we grew the company from that foundation. And we're actually headquartered in Lake Oswego, Oregon. All of our customers are in the United States, but all of our software developers, business analysts, testers, what have you, Scrum Masters, they're all in Mexico.
So we talk about a lot of misconceptions, at least within the LATAM Alliance Council, the misconceptions of nearshoring work to Mexico. Talk about how you overcome it with your clients, because you've got to sell them on the fact that the work's going to be done offshore, or not offshore, but nearshore to the United States.
Well, the two main misconceptions that we hear are, number one, if somebody is not well-traveled in Latin America, if they're not that educated about the region, they'll say things like, are there engineers in Mexico? Are there companies in Mexico doing this? So every once in a while you'll hear that, and unless of course they're familiar with the fact that IBM and Dell and HP and Microsoft and even the huge Indian companies, they've been down there for 10, 20, 30 years. So we just address that by explaining that Guadalajara is the Silicon Valley of Latin America. We talk about the 15 universities in the area graduating technical talent. Mexico graduates around 90,000 engineers per year.
Wow.
With a population of 120 million people. The United States graduates around 120,000 engineers with 3 times the population.
Wow.
So the commitment to engineering, science, and math and technology in general is much greater, really, in Mexico than it is, sadly, in the United States. We need more of that. And I know our government and the president and different organizations are trying to fix that, but Mexico has a strong commitment to technology. The second thing that we hear is just about safety. And people are worried. They see CNN, they see the news about kidnappings and shootings and hangings and truly horrible things. So the way we overcome that is we just show them real world statistics. We explain that there's 15 cities in the United States statistically more dangerous than Guadalajara. Guadalajara is on par with the city of Oklahoma City. It's about as dangerous as Oklahoma City from a crime rate standpoint. And then I add a personal touch to it. I explain that I lived there with my family for 2.5 years.
Yeah, I think that was a huge and wonderful move to do that.
Yeah.
To show that
you think so?
I do. I think taking your wife and your kids down there and enrolling them in school down there really shows a commitment to both your company, but also to the fact that it is safe.
Yeah,
so,
we never had security. We never felt in danger, and it was a great experience. The worst thing that ever happened to my family in terms of crime was my son Joel got his car stolen, and that was in Portland, Oregon.
Not in Mexico.
Not in Mexico, yeah.
That's great. And I was blown away when you took me through Guadalajara.
Right.
And I'm meeting people that have come from Canada, from Australia, from Great Britain, who have moved to Mexico and are working in these IT firms. It's just incredible.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. There's a lot of foreigners moving in, even people from Cuba and South America and Europe. They're all coming there, and it really is about just being closer to the customer. So having an engineering operation in Mexico, being within a 2 to 3 hour direct flight of most major U.S. cities, it means you're close to the customer. So there's more opportunity to work. There's more opportunity to be innovative and creative, and to be agile, really, because when you're in the same time zone, you can be agile. You can be in communication so much through the day that the product you're producing or the software that you're creating, it's just better.
So with the current climate in politics right now about nationalism and keeping jobs and not letting jobs go overseas or offshore or nearshore, what do you think about that? How do you think it might affect you?
It's kind of an interesting question because I'm in a unique position, right? I have a dog in both fights. I have a dog in the fight in Mexico because I don't want NAFTA rewritten or changed. I don't want crazy tariffs to hit the services industry. I think that'd be devastating for both economies. But I also have a dog in that fight, so of course I'm going to say that, right? But I also live in the United States. I actually like guns. I carry a gun sometimes, and because I feel like I should sometimes here in the United States. And I don't like the porous borders that we have. I don't agree with it. I think it needs to be enforced. I think laws need to be followed, and I think there needs to be better security. So
you really do go both ways.
I really do. I can argue both. I can argue both sides of that issue with a lot of passion. And so the truth is that our economies, regardless of who runs the show, regardless of who the government, who's in the government, the truth is that the three nations that make up North America are forever interdependent. So Canada, Mexico, and the United States, we are our largest trading partners, and we need to stick together. And anything that kind of disrupts that would be damaging for everyone's jobs in all three countries.
And talk about cultural alignment. Do you think
thanks for asking that. Yeah.
You think the alignment's better than other countries?
Oh yeah, I used to work, I don't know if you knew this, Dawn, but I used to work in India.
I did not.
For years I went to India. I used to work for a great company called Tata, TCS. Most people know who they are. And I love TCS, but I did not personally enjoy traveling to India. I did not appreciate or get used to the time zone challenges. The communication issues were more difficult. And then culturally, there was not a lot of alignment. So the religions are different, the food is different, the music is different, everything is different. When you go to Mexico or Latin America, there's much more cultural affinity and alignment because we, for the most part, love the same kind of food, listen to the same music, enjoy the same sports, and for the most part have the same type of religious concepts. And that really helps when you're collaborating in North America with your teams, and a product owner or a software development manager in the US can build a personal relationship with their tech lead in Latin America around things that have to do with family and life and sports. Again, you're just going to get a better result.
That's great. So what's next for you? I see that you also joined a board of Asperia. What is that?
Yeah, Asperia is a new company in Mexico that my partner Mario and I invested in. Unosquare, my company, built the software platform, and it's a company that does micro lending in Mexico for small businesses. So it's a very unique business. There's a ton of these companies that do it in the United States, but it's brand new in Mexico. So we're out on the leading edge of that. The platform loans money right into somebody's bank account. It takes payments right out of their bank account. It checks credit scores.
Wow.
It's really sophisticated. So we're excited about Asperia. And so, yeah, I'm investing down there. I'm investing up here. We're hiring people in Mexico. We're hiring people in the United States. So it's fun.
That's great. Well, it's been such a pleasure to watch how Unosquare has grown up into being the company it is today. I think I've met you probably 6 years ago?
Yeah, about 6 years ago. And I would say, Dawn, that part of the growth I would attribute to SIG, and certainly the LATAM Alliance, that is now a council of SIG. That's a powerful value proposition for anyone who joins the LATAM Alliance because now it has access to a very well-educated, sophisticated buying community from some of the biggest companies in North America.
Yeah, and I hope we can continue to grow the LATAM Alliance Council. We had such a huge turnout at the Shark Tank event we did yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was just applauded by everybody. And it really showed that a lot of people are interested in learning. And that's, if we can just do that and show them the incredible capabilities, it's going to be fantastic for our neighbors.
It's so important because everybody really is aware of India, China, even Eastern Europe, but not a lot of people are aware of what can happen in Latin America yet. So what you're doing with the LATAM Alliance and the partnership with SIG is extremely important.
Well,
so
good.
Thank you for that.
Well, thank you for starting it and asking me to be one of your first board members.
Yeah,
so
well,
I was very pleased to join
decision.
You. Yeah. And with that, we're going to wrap up another edition of our Inside Source Executive Interview Series. Thank you for joining us.